Here it is. The high holidays are less than a month away, and people are still wondering, should we come to shul or stay home? So let me tell you what Jewish law would tell you, or my definition of Jewish law. We find some insight in the Torah portion of this week, which provides us with the laws of war, of fighting a war. The Jewish people were called upon to fight against their enemies. And we are told that everyone was expected to show up and fight. That there would be some people who just couldn't handle the battle. There are some battles referred to as a milchemet mitzvah, a battle which is considered a mitzvah, a battle for survival for the land of Israel. Everybody had to fight that. But there were some battles that were referred to as a milchemet rishus. You have permission to fight for security, for strategic reasons. And for this fight, certain people were exempt. It was felt that there were some people just afraid to fight or unable to fight or had other things on their minds, and it wouldn't even be helpful to have them around. They would only drag down the others. We are fighting a war against COVID. There's no question about that. And we're winning the war. Is it a milchemet mitzvah, an obligatory war? Well, everybody is deciding that for themselves. So it seems like it's an optional war. Some people have decided to vaccinate. Other people have decided not to vaccinate. Some people are wearing masks all the time. Others are not. And it's understandable. And yet I would tell you that Jewish law says, fight the battle. That's the way a people survives. There are risks in coming to shul. You could get hit by a car. You know, I put out in one of my bulletin messages all the risks I take every time I take a pill. And the pill has with it possible side effects. And I listed some of the side effects that were in the pill: vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, stomach pain, heartburn, bloating, and gas. And then it has unusual bleeding. And my dear friend Jack Ream, Florida, read this and he asked, what's usual bleeding? And he goes on to write that he understands the risks I take with my medicine, but there are other risks that we all take every single day. Like he says, there are risks in coming to shul, and yet more people have died from something that happened in their home than something happened in their shul. And these days, there's a risk if you live in a condo. Who knows what's going to happen? There are constant risks in life, and there's a risk in war, and there are some people who just don't want to fight the battle. But if you don't come to shul, you're giving up an important part of your existence. You can stay home and watch it on Zoom from some synagogues. But on Zoom, you're a spectator. In shul, you're a participant. In shul, You learn to share with other people's joys and sorrows. You pray together and you laugh together, and sometimes you even dance together. That only happens in shul. In shul, your prayers take on a certain meaning and solemnity. I'm not sure if the same happens if you're sitting at home in your bathrobe, zooming in at services. No, the choice is yours, but we have met the bill. I've made a choice. We're going to do everything possible to make you comfortable in coming to shul. We're only going to be allowing people who are vaccinated. We're only going to have people who are masked. We are going to have a section for people who want to continue social distancing with masks and vaccines. We're making it possible for you to usher in the high holidays as the Jewish people have for thousands of years in their synagogue together as a community. It's worth the battle because we're going to win. Shabbat Shalom.